Welcome to the Rich Idea Library. Today, we will embark on a journey into the hidden world that powers our modern lives, a world of tiny, intricate machines that influence everything from our smartphones to global power. For years, we've been told that data is the new oil, but what if that's only half the story? What if the true battle isn't over the information we collect, but over the very power to process it? This chapter will pull back the curtain on the silent, high-stakes conflict known as the chip war, a story that is shaping the future of nations and the technology in our pockets. Chapter 1: The Brains of the World and Their Single Point of Failure. Have you ever stopped to think about the technology that gets you to a new place with GPS, connects you to a loved one on a video call, or helps a doctor see inside a human body with an MRI scanner? What if all these modern miracles were powered by something so tiny and yet so fragile that a single earthquake or geopolitical conflict could bring them all to a grinding halt? We take for granted the devices that define our modern lives, but they all depend on something the size of a rice grain: the semiconductor chip. They are the brains of our devices, but they are housed in a single, fragile home. Imagine the sheer frustration, the panic of a world without these chips. Your smart car won't start, the communication networks go dark, and life-saving medical equipment fails. Our entire connected existence hangs in a precarious balance. As Chris Miller, a professor and author, puts it, the real limitation we face isn't the availability of data, but of processing power. Think of the logic chips that process data and the memory chips that store it. In 2019, an astonishing 37% of the world's logic chips were made in one place, Taiwan. And nearly half of the world's memory chips come from just two companies in Korea. Add to this the fact that the most advanced machines used to make these chips, called extreme ultraviolet lithography machines, are all produced by a single Dutch company. ASML. This distribution of power is a ticking time bomb. A few years ago, the world watched with bated breath as Chinese military exercises were conducted around Taiwan. What many didn't realize was that these were more than just a show of force. They were a stark reminder of our global vulnerability. The possibility of a powerful earthquake or a human-made crisis in that region could bring the production of advanced chips to an immediate stop. So, what can we do? We can start by thinking beyond the box. Understand that the technology you use is part of a complex global web, not just a product from a single company. Connecting the dots. Look at geopolitical events not just as headlines, but as potential threats to the very infrastructure that powers our lives. Appreciating the fragility. Acknowledge that despite our technological advancements, our reliance on a few concentrated areas makes the entire system vulnerable. Now, as we move forward, let us ask a question that cuts to the core of this issue. How did a critical industry, one that defines American military power and Asian economic success, become so fragile and so reliant on just a few players?